Jared Kellan had always believed that life in the outer colonies was a game of calculated risks. On the trading hub of Vacre Prime, deals were struck over credits, reputation, and occasionally desperation. He had never expected that one reckless transaction would change the fate of the galaxy. The auction hall was massive, a cathedral of commerce suspended in zero gravity, where neon lights reflected off polished chrome surfaces. Traders from 100 worlds crowded the tiers, their alien faces shadowed by masks of greed, curiosity, and boredom. And at the center, displayed on a floating platform, was the lot that caught Jared's attention. An alien female, slender and cloaked in tattered robes, her bright violet eyes scanning the crowd with a calm, almost regal air. The auctioneer's voice boomed through the hall. Lot 382, a labor-class Zephyrian female. Estimated value, 120,000 credits. Jared raised his hand. I bid 130,000. The crowd murmured. Whispers of disdain circled. Zephyrians were not rare. They were valued as workers but nothing more. Yet something about her presence unsettled him. She wasn't afraid. Not of the crowd, not of the guards, not even of him. As the gavel came down, Jared realized he had bought her. Not because he needed a worker but because he was curious, and curiosity had a way of changing destiny. He called her Lyra, for lack of a name, as she silently followed him to the docking bay of his ship, the Horizon Runner. She said nothing, her movements precise and graceful, her eyes constantly scanning. "Where are you from?" Jared asked casually, trying to break the ice. Lyra tilted her head. "I am from a place the galaxy forgot." Her words were cryptic, but Jared didn't press. Most slaves spoke little, and most of what they said was carefully curated. Yet even in her silence, there was a presence that suggested power. Middle secrets in the stars. For weeks, Lyra performed her assigned duties with efficiency, never questioning orders, never revealing emotion. Jared began to notice oddities. Security systems would fail when she approached them. Data files he believed were deleted would reappear in encrypted form. She seemed to understand the mechanics of the universe in ways no worker ever could. One night, as the Horizon Runner glided past the edge of the Kralix expanse, Lyra finally spoke. "Your ignorance is vast, human." Jared turned sharply. "Excuse me. You purchased me thinking I was property. That decision could have consequences you cannot imagine." Jared laughed nervously. "Relax. I just needed a worker. No offense, but You are beneath the truth," Lyra interrupted, her violet eyes glowing faintly. "I am the last heir of the Zephyrian Empire. The civilization your galaxy believes extinct still survives. Hidden." The words hung in the cabin like a storm. "Extinct," Jared repeated, unable to mask his disbelief. "But all records were erased," Lyra said, "by those who wished to seize power. I was hidden to survive. And now, because you brought me aboard, those powers are aware of me once more." Jared realized immediately that he had not merely bought a slave. He had inherited a responsibility that could ignite wars. Before he could respond, the ship shuddered violently. Holographic alerts flashed red. Pursuit ships emerging from warp trails, armed with weapons designed to annihilate entire vessels. "They've found me," Lyra said calmly. "We must flee." The ensuing chase was relentless. Through asteroid fields, across ion storms, and over fractured moons, the Horizon Runner dodged destruction. Jared, a trader by trade, discovered an untested courage in piloting through near-impossible conditions. Lyra, meanwhile, guided him with instructions that seemed impossibly precise, as if she could predict the enemy's moves before they made them. Hours later, they landed on Ashara, a secluded, hidden Zephyrian enclave orbiting a dead star. There, Jared saw remnants of a lost empire, floating citadels, gardens that defied gravity, libraries that preserved knowledge across millennia. And the truth became undeniable. Lyra was royalty. Middle continued betrayals and revelations. In the days that followed, Lyra revealed her story. Her family had ruled a vast empire that spanned hundreds of star systems, but internal conspiracies had led to a coup. Her parents were assassinated, the royal archives destroyed, and the remaining heirs scattered or executed. Lyra had been hidden on Vacre Prime to survive. Jared listened, astonished, as she described the technology, the diplomacy, and the philosophy of her people. He began to realize that he was no longer just a bystander. He was a key player in galactic events, his actions capable of tipping the balance of power. But not everyone welcomed them. Scouts reported that mercenary factions loyal to the coup were mobilizing, and they were coming for Lyra. "We must act," Lyra said. "The moment we delay, the galaxy inches closer to chaos." Jared made a bold decision. They would return to Vacre Prime, not to hide but to claim what was rightfully hers. And perhaps, he realized, the galaxy might learn a lesson, that even a single human by chance or curiosity could change the course of history. Climax: reclaiming the empire. The plan was audacious. Jared's contacts in the black market, those who owed him favors, provided ships, weapons, and intel. Lyra, once a prisoner of circumstance, became a commander. Together, human ingenuity and alien heritage coalesced into a force capable of confronting an entire conspiracy. They began with the auction houses that had sold her to oblivion, trading hubs where information flowed like blood. Holographic records, smuggled documents, and bribed officials revealed the true scope of the coup, a network of corrupt leaders who had seized control of the empire's remnants. Jared and Lyra struck fast, disabling communications and freeing hidden Zephyrian loyalists. The final confrontation took place in the orbit of Vacre Prime, a capital reclaimed by mercenary generals. Lyra's claim to the throne, once dismissed as legend, ignited hope among the oppressed systems. Jared piloted a captured command ship through heavy fire, while Lyra broadcast a message to the galaxy, her voice carrying authority and power. "Citizens of the Zephyrian Empire, I am Lyra, last heir of the line. Those who betrayed our civilization shall answer. But there is hope. Hope that humanity and alien kind together can rebuild what was lost." The broadcast spread like wildfire. Factions loyal to the coup hesitated, unsure of who held the moral and political high ground. Lyra's appearance, backed by Jared's unexpected intervention, shifted the tide. In the end, the conspirators surrendered. The empire, though fractured, began to heal under Lyra's leadership. And Jared, once a simple trader, found himself celebrated as the human who discovered a lost empire, ending a new era. Months later, Jared stood in the newly restored royal palace, now orbiting Ashara. Lyra, regal yet humble, approached him. "You did not owe me anything," she said softly. "Yet your choice to act changed everything." "I bought you as a slave," Jared replied, a wry smile on his face. "Didn't expect to get a whole empire in return." Lyra laughed. "The galaxy has a sense of humor. Or perhaps it rewards those willing to see beyond the obvious." Jared looked down at the council chamber, where Zephyrian citizens, human allies, and representatives from distant systems convened. They were discussing trade, defense, and alliances, plans for a galaxy that had nearly been lost. "And what now?" he asked. Lyra placed a hand on his shoulder. Now we rebuild. Together. And the story of a human who saw potential in a slave shall remind the galaxy that courage, curiosity, and compassion can reshape destiny. As the twin suns of Ashara rose over the floating palace, Jared realized that life was far stranger than any trade deal he had ever made. He had purchased a slave, but what he had truly bought was a chance to witness history in the making. And in that moment, he understood why the galaxy would never forget the human who saw the heir behind the mask, and chose to act.